in the manifesto, or he's supposedly named in the manifesto, is Candace Owens. Let's go ahead and get into this. And it's really crazy how school shootings have just become normalized in this country. Very crazy. We're in troubling times.
Still unanswered tonight. Who, if anyone,
Ain't
knew
none of
about
the programs
Henderson's
working,
plan?
bro.
The manifesto does mention someone helping him write part of it. And Jared Holt, you just saw there, says extremists in online communities identified him as the shooter before police did. Again, as we've mentioned, the teen shooter left behind a lengthy diary, giving even more insight into his thoughts leading up to the shooting. Now News Channel 5 investigates reporter Levi Ismail went through page by page and tells us what he found.
It's the first 4 words of a more than 288-page diary, but it sets the tone for everything you read after. Those words, quote, "I'm burning with hate." From October of last year to the day he carried out his attack at Antioch High School, 17-year-old Solomon Henderson filled these pages with graphic images, Nazi symbols.
Now, remember when I went over y'all of how the Martin Luther King, I don't know if y'all watched that video. And the killer of Martin Luther King's mother, it was like how they were presenting it. He was a Hebrew Israelite, all of this stuff, the whole story. I was just scratching my head like something ain't right. When I'm hearing this story, something ain't right. It just, something don't seem right to me, how they marketing it and what they saying. But I want to know if y'all pick up on it. Let me know in the
and plans to carry out an attack. Henderson.
Pause. So if this is the case, this is someone who was anti-Black, someone that didn't like their self, right? I was very surprised when I saw the picture of the shooter because for, those of you that don't know, we don't really do this.
We don't. But like I told y'all, we could get infiltrated. We are infiltrated. I showed the video in this live. We have been infiltrated. So how they use Black people, we don't even know. We just look and see who do it. And we like, dang, that's weird, bro. We don't even get down like that. It's something going on and we don't have no clue.
Black people, we don't really get down like that. So I was very surprised when I saw that. Very young. But apparently did not like himself. Supposedly. Remember, he's not alive to tell his story. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Obsessed over mass killers around the world and declared that he too intends on doing something to kill at least 10 people. But how does this young man go from active high school student to active shooter?
If we just look at it broadly, a lot of people that have carried out these sort of acts have felt othered.
Lauren Ruth Martin is a licensed therapist with novel counseling in Franklin.
We could go, scientifically for a minute. Our brains aren't fully developed when we're 17. Our brains are actually on fire. And so not a lot makes sense, and decision-making is altered.
Martin.
Bro, I thought they was going to say this man was FBA and he claimed FBA. I promise you, when I heard all of the stuff, I was like, yo, they may say that this man was just FBA. Just like how they did with Martin Luther King mom. And I brought in the MK Ultra where they can have mind control over people. This was a war weapon. And they could, this was done this was research that was happening in the 1950s.
Martin says this is not about trying to humanize someone responsible for committing a horrible crime, but...
Pause here for a second. Thank you, La Senora. It's called Antioch, not Antioch. Okay. There was a church my mom used to go to called Antioch, and it was spelled that way. So that's why I thought it was Antioch. Sorry. Thank you. Click says, hold up, something isn't right here. Yeah. This one's a little, I don't know. It's a little weird to me. A little weird to me. And again, of course, he's not alive, so we'll never know, but it looked like he had a military uniform on. He was in high school, so I'm assuming maybe he was a part of ROTC. Very young.
Plant, man.
I just don't
Calling
understand this at all. Part of me
plant.
wonders, was it a mental health issue? I don't know. I don't understand it. But the part that's really weird to me is him naming Candance Owens. That's the part to me that's really weird.
Understanding how we got here. Henderson, by his own admission, fought with his parents and even wrote in his diary about killing them at one point. Struggles with his self-image and resentment over minorities were only amplified once Henderson found community and a sense of belonging with white supremacy groups online.
So, see, this is why anti-blackness is not good.
Exactly.
Right? But it still seems weird to me that he would go to that level of it. Just this story to me just never made any sense. Like, and this is why I didn't cover it the other day, because I was like, let me look into this a little bit more. It seems weird, right? And don't get me wrong, there are people who do hate their self. Like, there are people who do hate their own race. Like, that is a thing. You can find Black people that don't like Black people, right? But he went to the extent of apparently joining like white supremacist chat groups as well.
It's a perfect storm. In online communities, you can also access those in a private way. You get to be the person that you want to project out there online without anybody truly questioning it.
Henderson often wrote things like, quote, "I wish I was white," self-hating.
They mind control that kid, bruh. Listen, I don't care what you like. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
N-word award goes to with a picture of his eyes.
If we just focus on that idea of being uncomfortable in your own skin, can you imagine how helpless that must feel? Because you literally can't change that.
Another photo appeared to show Henderson in whiteface, but all while this self-hatred is happening, Henderson continues to plan out his attack. He details instructions on how to make bombs and even bought supplies. He then wrote that it made sense to attack during lunch and specifically made note of days when he expected there to be more people of color around.
So he wanted to go after other people of color. My question is, where did the hate come from? Where are the parents? They said he hated his parents. Why? Where does he get that from? I mean, this isn't something, listen, a child isn't born that way. You know, a child isn't, I feel like that is learned behavior. So where did that come from?
Call in.
You know what Michael Jackson said? Michael Jackson said that his father used to tell him, God, you have such a big, ugly nose. Michael Jackson said that in an interview. And apparently that must have stuck with Michael Jackson pretty much his whole life, because he continued to have like plastic surgery, that type of thing. So why did he hate his parents? What did the parents do? How were the parents? How did they treat him? Does everybody get what I'm getting at?
Right.
Yeah.
And
you're right.
Never hear 15.
PB World said MJ's dad was toxic. He was.
That's right, bro.
Like, so where does it come from? Angelique, there are quite a few POC Black people with self-hate problems, so this doesn't surprise me. I don't know any of them.
Right, but now they want to make it seem like we got issues.
Just days before the shooting, Henderson began to spiral. He wrote, "I'm slipping," and talked about being nervous, scared, and excited at the same time. Henderson posted a final selfie with the caption, 4 hours to go.
And of course, we know what he went on to do there, right? He went in and killed, I think there's 2 kids that are now dead. This whole thing to me, and I still ask, like, at that age, was this a mental health issue, right? Was it depression? Was it anxiety? We don't know. We may never know, right? But what's weird by this, the way that this narrative kind of played out is kind of strange to me, because this part right here, Nashville shooter Manifesto reveals he was inspired by Hitler and Candance Owens. And there's others that are mentioned as well. The Nashville school shooter allegedly wrote that his warped ideology was inspired by Candance Owens before he opened fire on 2 classmates and turned the gun on himself. So he fatally shot Josselin Corea Escalante, 16, and injured another student before taking his own life. And it talks about the horror inside the school. Much of the writing center on the gunman being ashamed to be Black and praised the work of Hitler and Nazis. Under one section headed, "Is there particular groups or people that radicalized you the most?" Political commentator Owens is name checked alongside far-right influencer Nick Fuentes and YouTuber Mr. Beast. So this is a weird combo here. I mean, Mr. Beast doesn't do the same type of content that Candance Owens and Nick Fuentes does. So very weird there. A little bit strange, right? Okay.
It's weird.
I don't know why he would have been interested in listening to Nick Fuentes. I just don't, I don't understand that. But the Candance Owens part is the part where some people may say, well,
in Tennessee,
maybe it's some of the things that Candance Owens said about Black people that appealed to him. Maybe. It says Candance Owens has influenced me above all. Each time she spoke, I was stunned by her insights and her own views, helped push me further and further into the belief of violence over the Jewish question. The manifesto reads, and this is where I have questions, right? And Candace did respond to this. I'll show you this as well. See this part right here? Okay. So we'll come back.
This is what Ivy League universities you can get into with a 3.6
what happened is they'll
GPA.
kill one of our
90% of
leaders
students
like
with a
that.
4.0 plus GPAs get
I've
rejected
ever
from
seen
universities
anything
like
like
Harvard, Stanford, and other
crazy,
top 10
right?
universities. Your
I
child
gotta-
needs these 3 key
tripping,
factors
yo.
to get.
It is truly sickening that people would use the death of a young 16-year-old girl to try to quickly score political points rather than to responsibly make sure that what they are sharing is accurate.
Now check this out, because I want y'all to know that I did a video about Martin Luther King, and I said the same thing, like, yo, it's too many political points into this assassination that's happening there. I can't believe it. It's the same kind of rhetoric as what we're watching with this. It's like all of the stuff that's going on, he was programmed by MK Ultra. And I said that with the guy with Martin Luther King mom got killed. It was like he was crazy. He didn't have any mental stability. And it was like he was a Hebrew Israelite. You know, it was kind of similar to this same situation right now. So it's funny. I don't know if any of y'all watch my video, but it seems like that same.
Just listen to this. Regarding the alleged manifesto, it is an obvious troll. How can you tell? Because the deranged individual plagiarized the exact same language from the Christchurch, New Zealand manifesto, combined with other manifestos and writings freely available on the web. In essence, it is a plagiarized document. So you guys see this? It would take 4 seconds of adult thinking and or journalistic integrity to recognize this is a troll. On your left, you'll see the language from the alleged Christchurch manifesto from 2019. On your right, you'll see the leaked manifesto circulating today. So I'll come back to what she said here in a second. I just wanted to show you so you can see what she's talking about. So this is from the Christchurch. Yes, the person that has influenced me above all was Candance Owens. Each time she spoke, I was stunned by her insights, and her own views helped push me further and further into the belief of violence over meekness. That was the Christchurch shooter
I
manifesto.
don't believe this, bro.
And then here's the one that I just read to you briefly. Candance Owens have influenced me above all else. So do you see what's happening here? So here's my guess, and we'll come back to this and we'll go back to what Candace is saying here, right? It feels very weird to me, and it seems like to me it is troll like. That's what it seems like to me, because why would you copy what someone else said unless you were trying to send some type of a message, or unless someone wanted you to send that type of a message? Remember, Candance Owens just recently got, not too long ago, just got the Anti-Semitism of the Year award. Remember that? But now I noticed something different about these two pieces. If you pay attention, the first one here from the Christchurch Manifesto, it says, influenced me above all else, Candance Owens. Each time she spoke, I was stunned by her insights, her views, blah, blah, blah. And on his manifesto, it says, Candance Owens has influenced me above all. Each time she spoke, I was stunned by her views, helped push me further and further into the belief of violence over the.
So you know what this makes me think, that where this came from? To see that they put her name in it, it has to be an enemy of Candance Owens, right? Couldn't we come to the agreement of that? Like, who was Candance Owens beefing with? That whoever she's beefing with is probably, you know, who tried to put this out there. And it sounds like they trying to make it seem like, yeah, you're spewing this rhetoric and this hatred towards our people. I'm just saying, it sounds like them people got something to do with this, bro. In my opinion, let me know what y'all think in the chat. But it sounds a little bit like an enemy to me.
With the Jewish question. So you see this? Now they've added Jewish people to it. I don't see that in this part here from the Christchurch Manifesto. It almost kind of seems like, and this is just my guess, it almost kind of seems like that part of the manifesto kind of seems like a little hit job there on Candance Owens. That's what it seems like. Seems kind of weird. And you don't have to like Candance Owens, but she has a point. Now, this part here, it says Owens is a right-wing commentator who has been accused of downplaying the Holocaust. You see where the narrative is going with this? She was previously denied a visa to enter Australia over her comments about Muslims, Jews, and her capacity to invite discord. Moments before Henderson struck, he posted chilling warnings about his plans, writing, "Today is a good day to die." So does everybody see what they just did there? Do you see how they went from, he said that she influenced him in the manifesto, to Candace has been downplaying the Holocaust and stuff like that? You see how they went along with that narrative? So it fits all together. It's packaged nice and neat. So just think about that. Think about how she's been attacked by Rabbi Shmuley, all these people that came after her. Think about that. Remember how Zionists came after Bree, to the point where Bree lost her job on the Hill Rising. It's called a coordinated effort. So we are not here to say that he did not kill those kids at the school. That is not what we're here to say. What we are here to say is the manifesto seems troll-like, obviously. And we also don't know who put him up to it.
The cloister at Sea Island.
That's
is
how
a
I'm
home
looking at
away
stuff
from
now.
home.
I don't trust y'all media.
Questions have to be asked. And that's how I would say it. That's how I would say to look into this. It's also showing something else I want to bring to this part here. So they have a picture of Candace here. A manifesto believed to have been penned by Henderson states that he was inspired by Candance Owens. So you see what they're doing here. So, okie dokie. January 2025. How many of these incidents we have already, right? We're going into the new year. We have a new presidential administration. And then we have the attack in New Orleans, right? We see the New York Post reporter walk into his house and say, and there's the Quran right there, just left open, which apparently Muslims do not do. Just leave it open, wide open like that. So there was that. How convenient. They said that he had joined ISIS or whatever. There was that whole jazz. So, and they're like, oh no, there's going to be, here's another radicalized person of Islam. Right. Okay. Then you had the guy who apparently tried to blow up an APAC building or whatever in Florida that apparently had moved and wasn't at that location anymore. This is all in January. Now you got this manifesto here, which is all of a sudden saying, well, Candace Owens inspired me, and the dude's doing a not black kid doing like a Nazi. Come on.
Hey, Nikki P.
Just put all these things together, guys. Put all these things together. Come on, let's wake up. Let's wake up and see what's really happening. It seems like there's a coordinated effort here to try to make it seem like there is an increase or a large increase of attacks on those who are Jewish, and that they indeed are not safe in this country. That's what it seems like to me. Because Sabi was not born yesterday, and people still have a lot of sympathy for the Palestinian people, and that hasn't changed. So Israel has no other way to try to beat the narrative. So you see what's happening now, right? So to me, I don't know, man. Here's one of the girls that was killed. This is really just very sad. This country is so violent. And he did post on Blue Sky. I guess these were his last posts. He said, one said, today seems like a good day to die. Another one said, I thought someone had found out when I got called to the office, but it was just a probation officer. Another one says, we're good. Everything will be going scheduled. So that was all on the Blue Sky. Bro.
Unbelievable.
This part too. The writings also cite Kanye West and state that the gunman prepared for the shooting by playing violent video games and parroted parts of other famous killer manifestos. So of course, and now they bring up Kanye West, right? Right. So just put all the pieces together. Now all of a sudden,
Kanye.
Come on now. Regarding the alleged manifesto, it is an obvious troll. This is what Candace wrote. And then it goes on to say here, the Mr. Beast part to me doesn't make any sense. It says, it's also explained why this individual, despite numerous accounts, never followed me or Mr. Beast on any of his socials. We can get to that part here where Candace finishes up what she was saying. She said, that is how it is plausible that both me and Mr. Beast, who clearly do not share the same politics, wind up once again in a manifesto. It also explains why this individual, despite his numerous accounts, never followed me or Mr. Beast on any of his socials. This is a deranged troll that is at least in part due to the death of journalism. Copycats know that they can gain traction by just mentioning what they perceive to be big names because the media will push those names for clicks. I will have more to say on my show tomorrow as I copied all the relevant documents and social accounts. So do you see what has happened? This is why I was saying interesting, right? But a lot of people fell for it. A lot of people saw this and just fell for it. And I'm like, come on, guys, you don't think this is weird? You don't think that this is strange? So once again, to me, it seems like a Zionist attack to try to, again, take down her. Kanye, who is mentioned as well. I mean, come on. This game is so old.
Straight up, we can see you through a mile away. Shout out to Sabi Sab. But y'all, I did that video on Dr. Martin Luther King and his mother got killed, and it seems like the same scenario that I was talking about, man. Let me know if y'all feel that, if you watch that video, bro. And I'm like, y'all saying so much. Like he was a Hebrew Israelite. He didn't like black people. It's like, huh? just had me like, this don't seem right, bro. Like we not breeding people like that. So it's like now this came up. It's funny how this came up now. And they've been flagging my channel. People been saying they've been dropping comments. And it's been YouTube been saying that they can't even drop a comment for 2 days, some crazy stuff. But we got to start speaking up on this, y'all. They just playing us with these news articles like we crazy. When I look at news articles now and I'm reading stuff, I'm like seeing why you got to tell me this. Like, why are you even saying this? It's a reason why they say things and attach businesses and people. And this just seems like too much for a shooter. Somebody trying to off somebody, it's like, this is just too much, bro. He's a kid. What kid even know about Candace Owens, bro? What kid like, I don't believe this. It just don't even make that much sense to me. Like, what kid is on Hitler? These kids is trying to play a video game, or I don't see them just being this politically understanding everything. I don't see it. Yeah, man, I appreciate you, kitten. Straight up, that's the cash app. Now, that's just my opinion, but I want to know what y'all think, man. If y'all watch that video, is it a similar, am I crazy? Is this similar to me? I know Don J, I know you saying, yeah, it sounds like it's the same tactics that they used in 1974 and 2025. It's like the same thing is being done. But that much time, that's almost 50 years, bro, of them doing the same tactics. Probably done escalated it a lot more, but I'm so glad we got a lot of our people speaking up on this. Doesn't even make sense. How does he target people that looks like him and nothing to do with the religious beliefs of people? Yet this turns out to be a hit piece directed towards a religious group. Right. It's just like, a black person, I don't think act like that. And I said the same thing about when Dr. Martin Luther King mama got killed. It was like, what? Now you claiming crazy and you religious? It's like, I didn't believe that. But the MK Ultra, I think that the MK Ultra had to be being done. Family, stay on code and stay with the most high creator of the universe. Yeah. When I got off code a little bit, Nikki P had to tell me in the other video, she was like, you can't call them concentration camp. I called it a concentration camp on accident. But what happened, Angela, what I said, I try to make sure I'm always on code. The program just been updated, but it's been going on for a while. For real, family. It's like they doing different stuff now because ain't nothing new under the sun. We seeing the same things that happen. Yeah, we stand on code, man. We are staying on code. Appreciate that, Ken. Shout out to you, brother. But this is deep stuff, y'all. This is real deep stuff that a lot of people they don't catch this. They don't catch this at all. I'm with you. Shout out, Angela. I appreciate our support. Listen, that's what's pushing the needle. Just like I said, if I get something wrong, Nikki P told me, you can't say concentration camp. That's what the Democrats saying. Sometimes we be on here trying to get the information. We got to make sure we talking to the people correct. So, but this is definitely flugazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they saying that this guy is FBA in the news, like later down in the line. Oh my gosh, he, but I mean, they did say he was white supremacy group, but We got to look out that. We got to look out for this, guys. Them trying to associate FBA to some sort of crime that happened. And now they labeling us radicalists and, you know, and I'm going to still talk my stuff on YouTube, explaining it. I'm trying to get another site. It's right here, Nikki P, right here, Water God H2O. I appreciate you. But yeah, guys, we gotta look for that, and I'm gonna be calling it out. So I'm waiting for them to even play with our name like that in lineage, because I be feeling like that's coming for some reason. Just to try to make us look like a radical group, because they already tried it with Fat Joe. These guys are radical. It's like they already trying to plant the seed. So it's nothing to get somebody that look like us to go do something stupid. Let me move this off so you can see. To do something stupid and we get caught up. So, man, we're going to keep pushing this. FBA delineate and just exposing the news, man. I appreciate y'all for supporting independent media, because it's millions of people that's not breaking it down how we breaking it down. And it's like they're looking at this guy, and I watch Willie D. He did it on this, and I'm listening to Willie D, and I'm like, Willie D, you missing it, bro. He calling out the black dude. He like, oh, this is a mutt. And I'm like, Willie D, you got to understand the games that's being played. They're putting us on the news and they saying all of this. You got to be able to understand history. That's why with the video that I did, it makes perfect sense. If you watch that video, you would be like, yeah, this seems similar. So that's all, man. I wanted y'all to look out for that. And we got to spread this message, because there's a lot of people still getting confused. They still just think it was just a crazy black person that don't know. And it's like, no, we need this narrative out there so people can think. But I didn't like that Willie D pushed that out. And he got 1 million people following him. And he pushed that message out, and it made it seem like everything that was in there was solid. And people told me I ain't want to jump out there, but I was like, dang, but people in my comments was like, yeah, man, I don't think Willie D be all the way there. But I ain't never seen nothing foul out of Willie D. But right then I was like, dang, Willie D, I didn't like how he covered that story. Yeah, like in New Orleans tragedy. Exactly. These tragedies, it's like, what's the point of them? And we got to dig deep, because it's like 1 or 2 companies that really own the media. And we know what lineage that is that own the media. So we got to, H2O at the end. But okay. Explain a little further. Interrupt this program. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki P. That was Nikisha. Yep, that's Nikki P. I appreciate you, Nikki P, for supporting. Cognitive dissonance. Explain more. We interrupt this program. I want to get what you mean. But that New Orleans tragedy did seem suspect, and they are like hiding a lot of stuff in there too. I'm gonna probably go over that when sometime this week.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs, because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have 3 things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.
To have a community, you must have 3 things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete.